If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Steph Curry just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. The NBA world has been thrown into absolute chaos as shocking rumors swirl about a possible historic trade involving the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The headline is one that no one expected to read, and yet, it's buzzing across social media platforms, inside locker rooms, and dominating every talk show. The Golden State Warriors are reportedly set to acquire a Cleveland Cavaliers superstar in a massive $91 million blockbuster deal. Fans everywhere are stunned, analysts are scrambling to make sense of the numbers, and players are quietly reacting behind the scenes to what could become one of the most dramatic turning points in recent NBA history. Picture this. The Golden State Warriors, a dynasty that has defined the past decade of basketball, a team that has given us unforgettable moments, 4 championships, and the greatest shooter of all time in Stephen Curry, now finds themselves at a crossroads. The dynasty has aged, the roster has struggled with consistency, and questions about whether Curry can get one more ring before retirement have grown louder and louder. The front office knows the clock is ticking, and with Draymond Green battling age and injuries, Klay Thompson's departure leaving a hole in the lineup, and Jonathan Kuminga's future uncertain, the Warriors needed to make a move. And what a move this could be. According to these rumors, the Warriors are targeting a Cavaliers superstar whose contract is valued at around $91 million. This isn't a role player, this isn't a bench piece, this is a legitimate all-star caliber talent, a franchise cornerstone that Cleveland has relied on to stay competitive in the brutal Eastern Conference. The very thought of such a player wearing the blue and gold alongside Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and possibly Jimmy Butler sends shivers down the spine of every rival team in the NBA. Fans immediately began speculating about which Cavaliers star is in play. Could it be Donovan Mitchell, the explosive guard who has been the centerpiece of Cleveland's resurgence but who has long been rumored to have wandering eyes towards bigger markets? Could it be Darius Garland, the elite playmaking point guard who has shown flashes of brilliance but might be expendable if the Cavaliers decide to build solely around Mitchell? Or could it even be Jarrett Allen, the defensive anchor and rim protector who could give the Warriors a new identity in the paint? Each possibility brings its own storyline, and each would shake up the league in its own way. Now imagine Curry, who at 37 years old still plays at an MVP level, suddenly sharing the court with Donovan Mitchell. The sheer firepower of that backcourt would immediately become the most feared offensive duo in the NBA. Curry's shooting gravity pulling defenders out past the three-point line, Mitchell slashing and attacking with relentless speed and athleticism, and defenders left scrambling to cover the chaos. The Warriors have always thrived on spacing and movement, and adding a scorer of Mitchell's caliber would create an offensive system that could resurrect their championship hopes instantly. On the other hand, if the target is Darius Garland, the Warriors could be setting themselves up for the future. Garland is younger, crafty, and one of the best floor generals in the game today. Pairing him with Curry would allow Steph to play off ball even more, just like he did in his early years when Kevin Durant was on the roster. That would extend Curry's career, give the Warriors a seamless transition plan for life after Steph, and keep their offense humming for years to come. And then there's Jarrett Allen. Warriors fans know the pain of watching the team struggle in the paint over the past 2 seasons. Kevin Looney, while loyal and hardworking, simply hasn't been enough against elite big men. Nikola Jokic dominated them. Anthony Davis had his way against them. The Warriors, once a team that redefined basketball with small ball, have now realized they need a defensive anchor again. Jarrett Allen could be that piece, giving them rim protection, rebounding, and a defensive presence that could help Curry and the shooters finally play with balance again. But here's where the drama intensifies. This trade rumor isn't just about basketball, it's about money, it's about egos, and it's about the future of 2 franchises. The Cavaliers, sitting in a tough spot themselves, have been forced to reconsider their roster construction. Donovan Mitchell has reportedly shown hesitation about committing long-term to Cleveland. The fear of losing him for nothing in free agency looms large, and history has shown us what happens when small market teams ignore warning signs. They risk becoming irrelevant for years. Could the Cavaliers actually pull the trigger and send their superstar to Golden State in exchange for a package of young talent, draft picks, and perhaps a player like Andrew Wiggins? Meanwhile, Joe Lacob, the Warriors' bold and fearless owner, has never shied away from spending money to win. This is the same franchise that paid record-setting luxury tax bills to keep the dynasty alive, the same franchise that pursued Kevin Durant when no one thought it was possible, and the same front office that understands the importance of Curry's legacy. For Lacob and the Warriors, this trade rumor feels like one final gamble to cement their dynasty. Let's dive deeper into what this deal could mean. If Donovan Mitchell is the player in question, the Warriors would immediately transform back into title favorites. The Western Conference is stacked with young talent Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving in Dallas, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray in Denver, Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns in Minnesota, and now Victor Wembanyama emerging as a generational force in San Antonio. To compete with these teams, the Warriors need more than just Steph Curry's brilliance. Mitchell provides that missing piece, a co-star who can take pressure off Steph and carry the offense when needed. But if Garland is the one, it's about the long game. The Warriors know Steph doesn't have forever. Garland's arrival would mark the beginning of a new chapter, where Curry slowly transitions into a veteran leader while Garland and Kuminga become the foundation of the next era. That would keep Golden State relevant not just this year, but for the next decade. And if Allen is the move, the Warriors would finally have their answer to Jokic, to Davis, to all the big men who have tormented them. A defensive core of Jarrett Allen, Draymond Green, and potentially Jimmy Butler would instantly make Golden State one of the toughest teams to score against. Combined with Curry's offense, that balance could bring back the dominance they once had. Now let's talk numbers. A $91 million contract isn't easy to move. To make this deal work under the NBA's salary cap, the Warriors would need to include a significant package. Andrew Wiggins and his $26 million salary immediately come to mind. Jonathan Kuminga, the promising young forward, would also likely be part of the trade. Add in Moses Moody or Gary Payton too, and suddenly the financial math starts to add up. The Cavaliers, in return, would receive young assets and flexibility, while Golden State cashes in its chips for one more title run. The question is, would Curry support it? All signs point to yes. Steph has always been the ultimate teammate, willing to sacrifice and adapt, but deep down he knows his window is closing. He has carried the Warriors for years, and though he remains one of the best players in the world, even Steph can't do it alone. The addition of a Cavaliers superstar would not just help him chase another championship, it would secure his legacy as a winner who fought to the very end. Reactions across the league have already been wild. Warriors fans are split. Some are excited about the idea of bringing in another star, while others fear giving up too much of the future. Cavaliers fans are panicking, worried about losing their best player and wondering if their front office would dare dismantle their team after years of rebuilding. Rival fans? They're terrified. The thought of Curry having another superstar at his side is a nightmare scenario for teams in both conferences. And then there's the Lakers. Yes, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Warriors' greatest rival of the past decade. The title of this story isn't just random, it's historic because it directly affects the Lakers as well. If the Warriors land a Cavaliers superstar, it immediately makes the Warriors a direct threat to the Lakers' hopes of winning another championship. LeBron James and Anthony Davis know their time is also limited. The Lakers have been trying to load up for one last run with LeBron, but if Golden State pulls this off, the balance of power in the West shifts dramatically. The rivalry that has defined the past decade, Warriors versus Lakers, would reach a new peak. Imagine next season's playoffs. Curry and Mitchell versus LeBron and Davis. Or Curry and Garland orchestrating plays against the Lakers' defense. Or Curry and Allen shutting down the paint against the purple and gold. The drama, the tension, the storylines, it's Hollywood meets basketball. And it's all because of this one trade rumor that has shaken the NBA. Make no mistake, this isn't just about one season. This is about history. The Warriors are chasing their 5th championship in the Curry era, a ring that would put them in the same conversation as the 1990s Bulls and the 1980s Lakers. Curry, chasing his legacy, knows that one more title would silence every critic and cement him as a top 5 player of all time. Draymond Green, fighting through the twilight of his career, wants to prove he can still contribute at the highest level. The front office, desperate to avoid fading into mediocrity, sees this trade as the ultimate swing for the fences. And for the Cavaliers, it's about survival. They can either risk losing their superstar for nothing, or they can act boldly, extract maximum value now, and rebuild around young pieces. It's a painful decision, but it's one they may be forced to make. As the days pass, the speculation grows louder. Insiders leak small details, agents drop cryptic hints, and fans dissect every tweet for clues. Will the Warriors truly pull the trigger? Will the Cavaliers risk everything by standing still? Will Curry finally get the help he deserves? Or will this just be another rumor that fades away into the noise of the NBA offseason?